Hey, NASDAQ, we get the best dope on the markets. I am your host, Alan Palmer. Another glance right there. And it is Monday, April 27th. Okay, we're coming into the end of the month. Oh, that's right. You know that SOX semiconductor index, that SOX index? I don't know if we're going to talk about it this one here, but let's look at what we have. Top left-hand corner here. Let's just look at it like this, okay? Let me just drag it right here. Right here, this chart. This is where we are right now, okay? Get the last couple days, highs, lows here. This gives you a picture of, because if people see the whole chart, they're looking over to the left. You're just looking over here to the right. If you're viewing a chart, you want to know what's here, and this is my analysis here. I've got to see up here, there's a brown trend line, and then there's an olive at 98.28. That was hit, like 39 was a high. Okay, we pulled back, and now we're coming back up here on this realization we're going to have higher crude oil prices longer, with a lot of caveats, okay? Because as far as getting it to the jet fuel, as a matter of fact, I just came across a nice detail. I'll have to look for that one of these next videos. And it had how much out of a gallon, out of a barrel of crude, and then each one was like, and at the bottom was the asphalt. Okay, that's, the heaviest of the products that are left over. So we have right here, for example, if you think that was the top or you are bearish now, you could sell against previous day's highs. But in the meantime, these are some smaller olives, okay? Because we got a green up here. Green cell, another green cell right up there. Those are very important. This is the June contract. So anyway, here, let's go see what we did here. Okay, see that chart right here to the left here? That's my day session here. Yeah, let's just do this here. We just opened up here. Okay, so those will be a couple more levels. Okay, just a couple more levels. So you say, well, you got them kind of all over there. Yeah, okay, well, And, but let's go to, what is it? Yes, you could look over there at silver on the right, top right, and gold here. Okay, both are lower here. We just shot down here in silver here. Here, let's look at a silver here. Look at this again, 7603. I just texted somebody else here. This 75, I'm sorry, 75 handle, okay? So I've got this level right here, man. We tested it. We got under it, 74.69. And in the whole scheme of things here, this is silver. Okay, in the whole scheme of things, is this where the SOX is too? There's a good, when you go up in a parabolic fashion, you get your biggest breaks. This is why I tell you, if you get something on that you just sold at one of my levels and you just get paid so handsomely. Now, this one, we just came back to where we were the month before, okay? But it's still the same idea. When you're blowing off and then you went up there and hit those 120, 122 calls, that was the only thing I said you could possibly sell it with, but when I was faced with the question of where you're going to replace it, I didn't have the audacity or balls to say on the way up to 200, on the way up to 200. Same exact thing like crude, okay? So think about that a little bit. It's almost kind of same price, okay? We got up to 120 in crude the first time, okay? And then is it over? Okay, that was March 9th. That was over here, but we're talking, this is in silver. This is how silver went up here. Okay. And here's gold. Here's a look at gold here. All right, here, hang on. Does that scale turn out? Hang on. Move it over here. See, this is the back of my screen, and it's just, and that's the real estate you want to see. So if you take a glance here, you could pause this and look at those numbers here, okay? These are a couple of these reds. These are halfways, okay, 50% retracements. I say ignore them for the most time. See these trend lines right here? These teal trend lines. So this is where we are in gold. We're at 47.14. And I have posited, okay, do central banks, the same kind of thing here. Here, let's go look at a little longer term gold, okay? There's a little longer term. This is where we are, okay? 47.14, so we're right here. We're right here, okay? So there's that 50%er, okay? 48.01 half. We've been playing that back and forth, on a scalping basis, I've got a couple clients, that are more active like that, where you're just looking to pick up, try to take advantage of a 1 or 2% move in the metals. On futures, on leveraged futures, so you hit them for whatever it is, a couple grand, 5, 10, 100, 200, depending who the players are. This is the futures markets. This is where the big boys play. Let's put it up on a weekly here. Actually, let me do a monthly there here. See the same thing with the diamonds? Okay. How many diamonds is there? One? Okay, here, hang on a second here. Hang on. Okay, that chart's right there. See, I keep the charts all in the same place. So if you got this and okay. So this is CQG, and I can just click up a plain Jane chart. So this is that same one we were looking at with the one diamond. Okay. Okay. So this is where, so all of a sudden now you have countries that have no oil. Okay. And this is so huge. This is such a macro shift that Trump has, that the world has overtaken here, in the name of peace. Oh, by the way, there are 3 more drug boats blown up here. Tell me, do you look for the bodies flying out of there? Is that why they kind of blocked that out? Anyway, so that's gold. Okay, now let's go over here. Look right here. Top is still, okay, I just made them in my time durations, okay? These are more scalping ones, okay? Trading ones here. So we just came up here. This is June, here, like this. Okay, and we just came up here, 47.1890, okay? So this would be, for example, if you're looking for an area here, I got one, call it 47.19 and 47.20. Round up to, 2 dimes. Okay, this thing trades in $50 in the course of a day. That'd be 1%, and so we'll see here on these. Look, man, you cannot discount, in my opinion. Some people are strapped and they're going to have to sell something. Okay, and also at the same time with the SOX, with the semiconductor index here. Let me go see if I can find that. Okay. This is a plain Jane chart here. As a matter of fact, you can see a 7 posting here. Okay. And they're quoting this as, what do we got here? Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 was higher. 12 was higher. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So this is 18 higher. What is this, 7,000? Look at that, it's a 10.5. Yeah, okay, so that's about a 50% move. Okay, look, we're just looking at this, and okay. So except none of this is truth. Okay, we're just looking at this. Okay, let's go back. As a matter of fact, that's. Okay, those are programmed. Okay, so let's go back and look. Let's crunch this up. I don't know if this is interesting here to anybody, but let's just go back and look here. So here we were down at over 2,000, okay, and then here over 3, and this is all this AI, and you got everybody releasing earnings, okay? Bloomberg is hyping it, $16 trillion, whatever it is, okay? And beware of Bloomberg here. They are leading just like if it's the new guy Warsh, if it's anything to do with Trump, they're either making figures up. This is just this morning. They're either making up their own figures or they're not telling the truth, or there's insider traders that Trump is tipping them off, okay? So just remember, Smith Month was revoked by Obama, so the news can't lie to you, okay? It's law, okay? It was, he suspended this, so Smith Month, M-U-D-N-T. Anyway, that's where we are right now here. So let's, be aware here. This could have a little blow off here just for for maybe a 10%. I mean, we just went up 50%, for a 10 or 20%, it's just real sharp, just a counter trend, not advocating it. Okay. We're going to call this a wrap. You need anything, you need to talk markets, we'll do consultation. No big deal here, man. Everybody's got to eat, right? If I can put it in front of you, email me, arp@nasdog.com. Thanks for watching.